Okay, good evening guys, good evening. Welcome to this next episode of the FPL Family, episode number 33. Got something in your eye?
Yeah.
You okay? That was poorly timed. Is it alright?
Yeah.
Recovered? Good?
No, it's still in my eye, but...
Just blink it out a bit.
I'll just
blink
ignore
it out.
it.
Blink it out a bit. Guys, good evening. Welcome
It's a bit of
to...
hair.
What? It must be an eyelash or something, is
No,
it?
it's a bit of my hair.
Oh God, panic. Should we... Hold on.
No, it's fine.
Hold on. Should we go off? Hold on. Right,
fine.
get it. Go on.
No, it's
Go
fine.
on. Is it alright?
Yeah, I think it'll be
Sorted?
alright.
Excellent. Right, let's go again. Guys, good evening. Welcome to this next episode of the FPL Family. This is, I don't even know what to call it. Gameweek 19 review, Gameweek 20 review, Gameweek 21 preview, whatever.
This is a stream all
whatever.
about how much I hate Edison.
Don't start hating on him already. You can't. Can we start the stream with what you've enjoyed about this Christmas? Because you've had a flipping good Christmas, FPL-wise.
What I enjoyed?
Yeah.
Felipe Anderson's brace last game week.
Excellent.
Loved that.
Loved that.
What else
Some
have
of
I
us did,
enjoyed?
yeah.
Enjoyed Rashford today.
Yes, 11
Kane
points.
in both games. Happy with him.
Very good.
Who else have I been?
Fernandinho, 2 goals in Gameweek 19.
That was nice.
Yes.
Edison, I hate you.
But let's stop with the hate. Let's cease the hate. Let's embrace the love. Let's talk about the players we love.
Do you know who else? Do you know who else I made the fatal error again?
Who did you put some faith in? Go on, tell us.
Well, no, it was more that I lacked faith in Doherty again. I am an apology. I benched him again.
He is on everyone's bench. He is on everyone's bench this game week. No one saw that result coming, right? No one saw Wolves going to Spurs.
But even so, I said last time I benched him and he got an assist from my bench, I would never do it again.
Never bench Doherty.
And then I did it again. And then this week I also decided, no, it'd be all right. I won't. I'm denied for such a long time about doing the Pogba transfer this week, or whether to just give Sané one more week. And I was like, let's give Sané one more week. They've got Southampton, right? Can easily get a couple in that. And then I'll do the transfer at the end of game week 20, ready for 21. So I've got Pogba ready for that nice game against Newcastle.
All sound reasoning.
And then Pogba does what he does, and I was expecting that, so that was okay.
Yes.
But Sané comes on for a 6-minute 1-point cameo. What?
Very
Pep?
annoying.
What? I hate Man City.
So if Sané had stayed on the bench, would Doherty have come on
Yes!
for you? Ah, savage.
Or I also don't like Fraser at the moment either, because he come on for a stupid 1-point cameos. I hate 1-point cameos.
Okay.
That's it, I'm over it now. I've had that rant.
Is the
now
rat
I'm over
got it out of your system?
Yeah, it's over now.
Okay. Why don't we go back to Game Week 19? Because I don't know what we're going to do, guys, on this stream.
This game week's actually been quite good for me. I've still had quite a good game week.
I mean, we've got to talk about 19, 20. We've got lots of... rather than going through all the fixtures, we can't possibly go through 20-odd games of Premier League football, right?
And the ones for this week.
And the previewing 21, which is going to be hardly impossible. So I think what we've got to do is look at the topics, right? And
the players.
But before we get onto topics and polls and say hello to all you guys, give us a flavour. Give me the feel, the vibe from your FPL Christmas. Game week 19 for you was phenomenal. Talk us through that game week.
To be fair, they're both good game weeks. I'm going to have green arrows for both of them. Still in the cup.
No.
Yeah?
Yes.
Made it through this round of the cup as well. Literally, the guy actually did beat me this week, but he took an 8-point hit, which means I'm through and he's not.
Excellent.
So that's fine. Yep, 2 green arrows. I should be just about top 20k now.
20k?
I think I'm just going to be outside about 20 and
Very
a half
good.
k. But
very
yeah,
good.
from 28k just before Christmas. So actually quite happy with that.
All right. Would you like to ask me about the flavour and the vibe and the feeling of my FPL Christmas?
Well, I'm not going to ask you about last game week because I thought last game week Lee might delete his team. So let's talk about this game.
Let me tell you about the vibe and the feeling and the flavour of my FPL Christmas. It was complete and utter guff.
No, it wasn't this week.
Complete and utter guff.
You captain Pogba this week.
I was luckily saved by Pogba captain, taking a bit of a punt on a hunch on Pogba. My FPL Christmas, outside of the last couple of hours with a certain Frenchman doing the business, has been completely and utterly atrocious, guys. I've gone from something like... I was flirting with sort of 80, 90k. I was about 80, 90k and I was sort of stagnating there, struggling to sort of get up. What I wouldn't give for an 80, 90k right now. Sam, I was down at 370 before Pogba. 370k, guys, before Pogba.
You didn't tell me that before.
Fix had me at 370k. It has been an absolute shower of...
But Alonso brought you some points today as well.
Oh, that is a minor ray of light in a otherwise very, very cloudy sky of despair and disappointment. It's absolutely awful. I mean, Game week 19, I had no Anderson, I had no Digne. Who did I bring in? I bought in Kane.
Yeah, you cursed Digne, didn't you? Cursed him.
Oh, well, I bought him in. I bought him in for this game week, but I didn't have Dino in game week 19. I bought in Kane, who I expected you guys to rout Bournemouth. You did, but Kane only got the 1 goal. There was something else I did. What else did I do?
You took a hit for him as well, didn't you?
Oh, it was just, guys. Oh,
you took a hit this week as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why are you taking so many hits?
Well, because I'm doing what I always do every year, and I panic. I get into this.
Stop taking hits.
Panic. What I like to do, guys, if you don't, you guys will know me by now. What I like to do is I like to listen to the pods. And on my way to work, I do I do the Always Cheating Boys on like a Monday. Who got the assist Tuesday, Wednesday? The Scoutcast is then on sort of Thursday, Friday.
So what you're going to say is that this is...
I like having all that preparation time. I like looking through the stats. I like taking my time over transfers. I can't deal with this 3 game weeks in a week. I can't deal with it.
So it's because you've not been to work, that's the problem? Because you've not been on a commute?
That is the problem. I've not had that hour in the day to just
I'll send you off to work tomorrow then. Off you go, back to work.
Back to work and back into the top 100k, I'm hoping. I just not... It's very, very difficult to have the time to devote to FPL, there's no doubt about it. However, Pogba has 100% saved my blushes, my Christmas blushes.
Where are you now then?
Well, I'm about 200 odd.
Okay.
Which is pretty woeful, but compared to 370... It's all right.
You know what you need to do? You need to listen to that little pod that come out about how to catch up in your mini leagues. There's 4 experts talking.
That video, by the way, and guys, if you haven't seen that, get on our Twitter at FPL Family. There's a video promotional video that we did with Dave Monday and Mark Southerns and the Premier League. And one of the sections in it was about how do you stay ahead? You know, if you're winning your mini leagues, how do you stay ahead? And it's like the guy was asking me the question, Lee, if you're smashing your mini league, Lee, how do you stay ahead, Lee? And I'm like, I haven't got a clue. You're asking the wrong person. They said that's fine. Bring in the wife. So you got in there, did the business, and it's a great little video. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want cheering up about,
go on. I'm moving on to the page. By the way, we've got to move on. So much to talk about. Go on.
It could be worse. What happened with your keeper this week? Where would you have in goal?
Who did I have in goal? I had Foster because I expected Newcastle, who have scored something like 2.5 goals away from home all year, to not score. But then Rondon pops up, didn't he, to spoil the party.
You didn't have Button with 9 on your bench then?
Yeah, but listen, everyone's benched Button on 9. If you buy Button, you're probably going to bench him more times often than not. Who's your other keeper? Edison. How many times are you going to play Button over Edison?
Well, never, actually, forever, because I'm getting rid of Edison. I've had enough.
Well, listen, let's say hello to a few people. Let's let you calm down.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine now. I've had my rant. No, I'm fine.
I don't understand why.
Why I dislike Edison so much. Because Edison's just trolled me for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I keep giving him a bit of a stay of execution because he's a decent keeper and he's playing for Man City and rah, 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 rah. And then every week he does something stupid and lets in a goal. But yeah,
Sam, there are FPL managers like myself looking at overall ranks of 370k and you're worried about Edison. I can't. You
can have him if you want him.
That is an hashtag FPL first world problem.
It's going down again tonight, so I've actually got to decide on who I'm going to have. Do you know what I was going to do? My planned transfer.
You were doing Lloris.
I was doing Lloris, but then we shipped 3 goals yesterday, and it's a bit like
what? Shipped
3 goals.
Okay, good.
Yesterday. Stop it! You made that out before.
Hey, listen. Your performance that day, particularly in the second half, could easily have been the other word, but you shipped 3 goals that day.
3 goals yesterday, and so now I'm a bit like. Right. So somebody's got a keeper idea for me.
Let's say hello to a few of you guys. Steve Wynyard, as ever, is in and has super chatted again. Steve, thank you very much. Hope you had a lovely Christmas, Steve. He super chatted £5. He said -4 to go Rashford in brackets injured. Now I've not seen that.
Yes, he went off with a groin strain.
Did he now?
Yes, he did.
Did he now? Okay, so Steve is saying -4 to go Rashford and Snodgrass to Ings and Pogba. Have only just enough cash, so need to do it today.
Pogba.
I know. I could not wait to ask. There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
I think so.
I've already done the Pogba transfer.
I think so, and my view is that Pogba is essential now because he is the perfect mix of form and fixture. We're going to come to him a bit later on. He is second on my essential list. First is a Mr. Tim Ream from Fulham. Absolutely essential now, Tim Ream, with, what is it, something like 3 clean sheets in a row or something, Tim Ream? 1 bonus point at the weekend?
I'm playing against Arsenal next.
Absolutely
Are you sure?
Unreal. Oh, essential, Tim Ream.
So going back to Pogba, and Ollie has already said, hasn't he, that he's building a team around Pogba. So, yeah.
He said that when he came in.
I mean, I think for me, because I also have Rashford.
I know.
But I was just going to say, if there's a way of doing it, because it's Steve's question. I just think it is a groin, but it's supposed to be. I think it's quite a minor groin strain. I don't. If we have a week until the next game, I think we'd see him. But I'm a bit wary of it because we've
wait for news maybe, or
I think it's
Steve needs to do it today.
No, I think if you have to do it today to have the cash to do Pogba, then do it.
Don't miss out on Pogba.
Don't miss out on Pogba.
Don't miss out on Pogba. All right, let's say hello to a few people. 284 of you in already. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. I also got to say a quick shout out to everyone that's following us on Twitter. 10k followers we got to over Christmas. 10k followers, guys.
That's amazing.
That is incredible, given that
Where
we started
were we at the
this
beginning of the season.
at the start of the season. We're at about 3, I think, 3.5. So guys, thank you so much for everyone that follows us at FPL Family on Twitter, and get over to Insta as well, because the Insta is going great guns as well. So
and while you're there,
get over there.
Give Tips a follow on Instagram as well, because he's just joined
Instagram. What's FPL Tips' Instagram handle?
FPL Tips.
At FPL Tips.
At FPL Tips _
At FPL Tips, TIPZ_.
Yes.
Why the underscore?
Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe
is that at FPL Tips? Has someone nicked that off him?
Well, maybe I don't know.
Someone's nicked it.
But he's underscore.
Okay.
Yeah. So give him a little follow. I did give him if you can't find him, look at my Insta story. You'll find our little shout out to him this morning. Find it there.
There you go. At FPL Tips _ on Instagram. All right. Shuvik is here, who I think has had a pretty good game week. We're going to talk about leagues and updates and all that sort of stuff a bit later on. FPL Dubs is here. How are you doing, Dubs? You got dodgy old glasses again.
I come on here and my glasses are filthy. I'm sorry, everyone.
Well, they can't really see that on the camera. It's just for your benefit, isn't it? Really. Neil Baxter is here. How are you doing? Karam is here. Karam Ibrahim Plazy 74. Ibrahim 74. Very good indeed.
There's a few really good scores out there if you had the likes of Pogba and Rashford and all of those Man United players.
I think so. Peter Stead is here. Tim Ream is essential, guys. He says Tim Ream is essential. Alert! Klaxon. Phil Dowd, he says, guys, help me.
Oh.
Guys, help Phil out. Other than getting Pogba in. Viali Wright is here. How are you doing, Viali?
He of Wembley fame.
He didn't go to
Christmas
Wembley.
Present
Didn't go to Wembley, but did win the FPL Family Christmas Present League. And guys, if we've got a bit of time at the end of this stream, we will tease, potentially, one of the new features that I'm cooking up for next year. So I'm planning an FPL Family Manager of the Month section. So we loved doing the FPL Family Christmas present. It was great, wasn't it? Really, really great. Particularly because you get to start a league at 0. It's all about that month. How many points can you get, etc., etc. So I'm planning to do that going forward into the new year. So every month we're going to have a new league, delete the old one, start the new one, and you'll get the chance to win some decent prizes. Now we're going to do probably a Patreon so that we can get people to either to support the stream in the first instance, but also to take part in that Manager of the Month. Because I want to give away some decent prizes, but of course it's going to be difficult for me to fund that on my salary every single month.
Why? So, because I'm expensive enough?
Because you're very expensive, the kids are very expensive, so I can't pay for you guys as well. But if that's something that you're interested in, the Patreon thing won't alter anything that we do here. So we're still going to be doing the live streams, we're still going to be doing the Twitter, all of that stuff. But that is something that we are thinking about doing, or I'm going to do in the new year. So look out for some more detail on that on Twitter over the next week or so. We're going to launch it in January, so have a look at that. The Tesso is here. The Pogba love is real, he says. Absolutely right. Hashtag Pogboom. Josh is here. Josh Telling, how are you doing?
Happy Man United fan.
Very happy Manchester United fan. Wazim is here. Wazim, how are you? Mike S. Steve Wynyard, who we've mentioned already, is here. Ricardo Buckton is here. How are you doing? Neil Crastin, Carry256, how are you doing? All of you guys are in. So guys, thank you very much for joining. Absolutely superb. And I think some pretty good scores actually knocking about. Some pretty good scores this week knocking about, guys. Before we move on, that's our Twitter on the left-hand side. We've also got a couple of polls. Go and check out the little eye in the top right-hand corner if you can, which I think YouTube have fixed that now. I can now do that on most of my videos. I don't know why I couldn't do it for a little period of time.
Broken for some reason.
I can do it now. One of the questions is, who's going to be your captain for Game Week 21? Is it going to be Salah, Kane, Aubameyang, Hazard, or someone else? And that's come in from Rushil Joshi. Thank you, Rushil, for doing that. So even though we're going to obviously be talking about 19, 20, and X-Holmesy, I've just seen the super chat. We're going to come back to that in just a second.
While you're just doing this, I'm just going to grab a tissue.
Grab a tissue, go on. Really annoying. Nose or glasses dirt? What's that for?
Crying about Edison.
Crying about Edison. Goodness me, right. So that's the first question in the polls. Game Week 21 captain, because of course we've got to start looking ahead to that as well. Only a few days away, Game Week 21 on New Year's Day, which is Tuesday. A second question from Rushil. So Rushil, thank you for sending all these questions in. Absolutely awesome. Best time to get Salah in, he says. Best time to get Salah. Is it right now? You cannot not have him anymore. You've got to have him. Is it after the Man City game at the beginning of Game Week 2, which I think starts, will be active, I think, middle of next week? Or is it you still don't want to have Salah? So those are the answers for Rishal's second question. Milky X sends in a question that says, best replacement for Son. Doesn't really want to get rid. He's kind of reluctant to get rid of Son, but given that Son is off to the Asian Games, probably got to get rid of him. So who's going to be his best replacement? There's a few options in the poll, so go check that question out. The fourth question is from a name who, frankly, I'm not even going to try that. It looks like a Turkish name. Eray Kokulu. I think you say that. How would you say that? Eray Kokulu.
I'm not even going to try.
Don't even try.
Because I'll just insult him.
But it's very kind of you to send that question in. If you were going to go for a Liverpool double up, where would you go? A defensive double up or an attacking double up?
I love that question.
Where would you go? If you're going for a Liverpool double up, do you trust their defence or do you want the points? You want to go for the attacking, the conservative or not? What are you going to go for? I really
Never
like that
mind the
question.
double up. Let's go for the treble up.
Great question, that. Great question. And the final question in the polls, little eye, top right-hand corner, is we are planning to do, guys, in our next stream, we're thinking about doing it Wednesday next week. And the reason we want to do it Wednesday next week is because the games are on. We will be mid-game week. Now, clearly, I'm not going to do it Thursday night. There's a rather large game on at the Etihad, which you guys might be aware of.
I think I might go out that night. I don't think I want to sit and watch that with you.
On Thursday?
Yeah, I don't think I want to watch it with you. I think you'll be too stressed.
Gonna play Edison?
I might do Instagram live and just point it at you, just for your reaction.
So City Liverpool on Thursday. So clearly we're not going to stream Thursday. Friday we're back down in Uxbridge doing the FPL show with James and Jules for another week. So Wednesday is looking like the day we're going to live stream. Looks like we're going to be doing it during the game. So Man U and Newcastle is on, but there's other games that are on. We'll have live reactions to FPL points as they go in from us, from the community. So let us know what you think. If you want us to do that on Wednesday, get in the polls and hit that yes rather than the no. And we will try and do that.
No.
We will try. Yeah, no, not interested.
100% no. I'm not interested in seeing you on Wednesday night.
Lee, you're at 400k, you muppet. Get out of my life. Right, okay, so that is our...
Imagine it. I wish they could only have a comment on their answer.
Can we please just have Sam on Wednesday?
Please could we... No. Please could we not listen to you? We'd rather watch whatever the soccer Saturday equivalent is on a Wednesday evening.
I just think the live FPL reactions, I mean... I
have to temper it when I get angry though, won't I?
I get very emotional. I get too emotional live on FPL. So to do it live on air could be a bit... Who knows how it could go? Who knows?
This game week, obviously, with the Spurs result and the FPL results from Saturday afternoon, is that we were in the O2 and the signal was diabolical, wasn't it?
We didn't know what was going on in the Spurs game until we got out.
No idea. Genuinely. And then we got out and it was like a goal flash just as we got on the tube and it was like... 2-1 to Wolves, and I was like, so then I'm in a grump on the tube. Then we get off the tube, and we had to run for our train. We got to the train, and Lee's like, I said to Lee, "Can you check the score?" And he was like, "Yeah, I checked it." And he was like, "I'm not telling you." I was like, oh, God.
Eric Lord, thank you for joining. Eric, he's saying, if you're doing a midweek one, please can we listen to your kids and we can let them give us some advice. Well, Eric, you'd rather listen to my kids than me, which is completely understandable, by the way. That's totally understandable. I understand that.
The only advice that they will give, and I'll tell you exactly what they'll say, is that Max will say, Harry Kane, Harry Kane,
He's quite big on Harry Kane. Yeah, he's quite big.
And our little girl will say, Dele Alli, Dele Alli, Dele Alli, and then they'll say, Daddy's red team.
That's it.
That's what you'll get.
That's all they know. But if you're a Harry Kane captainer, then that might be what you want to hear. That might be what you want to hear. Let's go back to ex Holmesy's super chat. I didn't forget about you, ex Holmesy.
What did he say?
He's saying, "Hi both, love the vids. Thank you for the super chat." He's saying, "Would you do Eriksen to Pogba?" That's a good question. What a good question that is.
Yes,
I think I would as well. It's. I just think he is absolutely on fire right now. Absolutely on fire. Let's go there.
And I'll tell you why. The other reason I would say yes with the Eriksen one is I'm absolutely not convinced that Eriksen's going to play on Tuesday evening.
So Spurs did look like they needed a bit of a rest, particularly in that second half. Although I read a tweet that said that both Spurs and Everton looked quite tired in their second halves, and they both got bad results. And I think if you think back to when they last played football, it was when they played each other in that Sunday night game. So they had a day's less rest than most of the other teams, or the teams that they played. Now, in this busy period, that day makes all the difference, doesn't it? It makes all the difference.
It's the same with this coming game week. Everton are the first team to play in this game week on Tuesday lunchtime.
Yeah.
And Spurs are Tuesday evening. So it's the same again. I'm not going to complain that Man City and Liverpool have got until Thursday cheats.
The schedule has been kind to Liverpool, no doubt about it.
Yeah, with you playing on the Friday, right,
no
as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, it is what it is. You can't odds the schedule, and it's mostly due to TV rights, of course. But I think there is an element of truth in that. And with Eriksen, I think he did look really knackered by the end of that Spurs game. And given that Dele came off on 60, Moura only played for 30 minutes, I would expect to see Eriksen rested on Tuesday, and that really worries me as a Kane owner.
Okay, so ex-Holmesy, Eriksen to Pogba, you'd say?
Yeah, I would do it, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Pogba, by the way, I haven't looked at the stats on FFX, but I saw a tweet that said he's something like
50% he was.
I think he's like 80 odd at the minute. He is absolutely flying up. So he's, we all know the nature of FPL and its global appeal, and the fact that if a Manchester United asset starts firing, bang, it goes in. And I also think that with Son leaving, there's going to be a lot of Son to Pogba's, isn't there? A hell of a lot of Son to Pogba's. People are going to do that a week early, I think. But listen, let's talk about... So we're not going to do games individually, but let's talk about topics. I want to talk about United as a topic then, other than, all pile onto Pogba, because there are other options there, right? I mean, if you haven't got Pogba, you definitely got to have a look at him. We said, and I think it goes back to the Three Amigos podcast. We've said this a bit before. We had a Christmas party podcast with the Three Amigos, and a lot of the Twitter community guys were on there. And we were talking about the sort of assets that we want from United. And I think it was myself and Ash, who's at FPL Hints, who's chief on Twitter. We had a bit of a chat on that pod about, well, actually, it's Pogba's the one. He's the one that has not caused the Mourinho thing, right? But he's the one that was having the problem with Mourinho. So now Mourinho's gone. It's in his nature, I think, to want to prove everybody wrong. And I've seen documentaries, I've seen videos on YouTube where Pogba is a leader in that camp. There's no doubt. And I've 100% respect for Solskjaer, right? He's come in and done what appears to be an amazing job. But he's not, Solskjaer is not a miracle worker, right? You can't just take that United team as it was and suddenly they're bashing teams 4-5-0. He's come in and he's done a pretty good job, but what he's done is he's just given Pogba not just a free rein on the pitch, but a free rein off it as well, I think.
I think that's true. But I also think if when you look at what was been going on in training and stuff, that Solskjaer spent a lot of time individually with these players. He spent a lot of time training with Rashford after training this week. And all of those little things make a big difference in a team that's lacking confidence. So, you give somebody like Rashford the opportunity to spend some one-on-one time with the manager who was good at this sort of thing back in the day. Actually, you foster a confidence and a community at Manchester United, which was what was lacking before. We always said, it was tough with United because you didn't trust Mourinho, so it was hard to pick a fantasy asset from Manchester United. However, now we have a more cohesive unit where they all want to play and they want to do well and they're all kind of doing it for each other. Now, I think you're right, that is led by Pogba, but I think underneath that, what Solskjaer is doing and the way that he is dealing with these individual players is he's managing them exactly the way that Mourinho wasn't. So he's giving Pogba that leadership quality that he needs to bolster his game. He's giving Rashford the quality time that he needs to just confidence him.
Different class today.
Absolutely.
He's working hard. He was tracking back. I think Solskjaer even came out after the game and said, he was playing in every position on the pitch. He was defending. He was attacking. He was the first goal for Pogba. I mean, Pogba's a tap-in, right? But the work is done by Rashford. It's a phenomenal assist from Rashford. So at 7.0, maybe 7.1 in the game, who do you think's more essential right now? Is it Pogba, is it Rashford, or do you have both?
Well, I've now got both.
I think that's a great shout. I really do.
And I think, for me, I'm a little bit cautious with Rashford because obviously he did go off with a slight groin strain. So we just have to monitor that because Tuesday may just come a bit too quickly.
Do you worry about the rotation of Sanchez and Lukaku and people like that coming back as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is obviously an issue. Particularly that's an issue for Rashford. But I kind of figured that, the way that Solskjaer has been dealing with Rashford up until now suggests that he really sees something in him that's... And I think if you look at Rashford, particularly today, and the way that he played in that game, he gives something to that team that Lukaku just never will. Because you're not going to see... exactly. And you're not going to see Lukaku tracking back and doing all those sorts of things that Rashford was today. Lukaku is hit up, hold the ball, score some goals, but he's not going to be that player that Rashford can be. So I think Rashford, if he continues to play in the way that he is, and United fans, you'll be able to tell me better than anybody. But I'm not too worried about the rotation issues. Of course, it will come, but we'll see. All
right, let's see what you guys are saying about Manchester United. You're saying Shuvik is saying I've got both now, so I think he's in the same situation as you. Andrew Yee, I think Mike Feeling also worth giving credit to. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. I'm not saying that Solskjaer's not doing a good job, because he is. He's coming in and he is, of course, doing a good job. But it is as much about Mourinho going as it is Solskjaer arriving, right? And Pogba is massive in that dressing room, massive. He's got his different handshake for everybody. He's got his little dances with everybody. He's everyone's mate, isn't he? He's given the freedom to move forward now. I just think he's absolutely one to have. John Cox is saying Pogba a defo, but wait until they play one of the top clubs before going crazy with Man U assets. Well, the challenge with that, John, is that they don't play any of the top clubs for some time, right?
Excuse me?
Okay, they've got the Spurs game. Yeah,
you absolutely piped down, Liverpool fan over there.
I was about to qualify that with they've got a Spurs game in a couple of weeks, but generally speaking, the fixtures, apart from Spurs, are very good between now and the end of February, right?
These boys will go out the pram in a minute. You can't not call us a big club. Dear.
So I'm with John, right? I'm with John.
I agree. But I think for me, I was in a position where it was like, I had Rashford, and then I'm looking at Pogba and I'm thinking that's 3 game weeks on the trot with 14, 15, 18 points in those 3 game weeks or something ridiculous. How can you not go to Pogba? Okay, so I've done that. If longer term, I might not keep Rashford. Okay. Was my thinking, but we'll see. We'll see how Man United go.
Well, listen, Pogba's the one to have. I've got him and Martial.
I agree, Pogba.
I'd really like to keep both right now.
Of course, you've got Martial.
I've got Martial, who I think got an assist today, so he did okay. What did he get? Yeah, 5, so an assist. The trouble is, I want Salah, right? And someone has got to make way in that middle, and it's not going to be Fraser, because that's too much of a jump. That's 8 million I've got to have in the bank. I haven't got that. Well, Fraser to Salah, right? It's not going to happen.
8 million?
So, but have I got enough to do Martial to Salah? Well, I have right now, just about.
Just about.
Yeah, just about.
How much you got in the bank then?
Quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit. Actually, I might even need, after a couple of price rises, might even need to substitute someone else.
Salah's going up again tonight, by the way.
Yes, I know. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. But Pogba and Martial right now, I'm definitely not going to, Pogba, he's in my team now for a while, I think. And Martial, the way that United are playing right now, the way that he looks as well. I mean, Martial looked dangerous today, despite just getting the assist. Did look dangerous. So, who knows?
In a team with confidence, that Man United team will score goals.
Absolutely. As you guys are quite rightly saying in the live chat, though, avoid the defence. I think that's the right thing to do.
Well, particularly with the red card today as well. So
you still can't trust that United defence, I don't think. So wouldn't worry too much about that. But yes, definitely. Pogba, yes, 100%. Let's move on. Next topic of conversation. Tottenham Hotspur. Let's talk about your side then, Tottenham Hotspur. So,
well, not a big club, apparently.
Not only within the 4 days they've been in the title race and then out the title race. So tell us about.
Who says we're out of it?
Tell us about Gameweek 19, where you smashed Bournemouth to pieces.
Yeah.
And then somehow picked the bones out of Spurs 1, Wolves 3 that happened yesterday.
Oh.
What's your feeling about Spurs over this festive period?
It's a bit of a rollercoaster being a Spurs fan.
It has been, isn't it? Very much so. Very much so.
I don't know. I mean, the Wolves thing, to be honest, in a way, I didn't expect to lose it, but it also didn't surprise me, because when you think back to that game that we played at Wolves in game week 11,
yeah,
we were lucky to win that game.
Yeah, Wolves love playing the big
well.
sides. They love playing the big sides, right?
And so, in a way, it didn't surprise me. What did surprise me with Spurs was the total dominance of the first half versus that last 30 minutes where we just, I don't know what happened.
You ran out of steam. You 100% ran out of steam. Yeah.
And my issue with that is that, okay, the likes of Delhi, and I know he got a bit of an injury in the game last time, so fair enough, or 2 game weeks ago, so fair enough, maybe he's not quite up to 90 minutes, but Eriksen really should be now up to that. He's been back from injury for a while, so he shouldn't be tired. He had a big rest.
He's still got this abdominal problem though. I still think that's an issue.
And then there's Moura.
It was described as chronic a few weeks ago. Right?
But Moura, then you get Moura, who's sitting on the bench most of the time. So when he comes on, why is he not giving that boost of pace and stuff? Yeah, okay. So it's a bit difficult, and I think we are missing. So I was my planned transfer for this game week, one of them was to do Edison to Lloris. That was my plan. And I know that means that I've got a difficult fixture for Lloris to play against Manchester United in game week 22. However, I have got, I will have Button as well, who I can't remember who he's playing that week. Liverpool, perhaps. So I might get some save points out of him, maybe, because Liverpool just shoot. For,
yeah, sure.
So what have you. But I now look at that Spurs team, and I looking at the defence, and I thought, if they're really that knackered that they can't defend for 30 minutes against Wolves, then we've got a problem.
Yeah, but listen, Wolves are a good side. I'm
not saying that they're not, but we've only got until... Look, I mean, I've got Doherty and Jimenez. I know Wolves are a good side. They play really well, and Jimenez is an absolute fantasy gift. That man is a hero from an FPL point of view. But, I'm looking at Spurs and I'm thinking, well, we've got to play again on Tuesday evening.
Talk to me about Harry Kane's performance in that game. So I saw a heat map or not a heat map, it was a kind of where's he taken his shots from, or where's his touches. Didn't have a touch in the box that entire game. And the goal, I'd take nothing away from him, cracking strike, right? But he didn't have any touches in the box that game, and he was sitting very deep again, even though Eriksen was on the pitch. So what's going on there? Well,
part of that will be, the last 30 minutes will be because Moura was on the pitch, and that always changes the dynamics. I just think that we just sort of, I don't know whether there was an element of a bit of complacency with Spurs against Wolves. I don't mean that in we're playing Wolves way, but I mean that as in, I think they go into every game so full of confidence that they're going to win.
It's an interesting point, that, because FPL Chancellor, so Dan is here. Dan, good evening. How
Dan.
are you?
It's another Spurs fan.
He is, absolutely. He said that Poch said it. He said first half was so easy, we thought we'd won it.
And I think that's the problem.
They were unprepared when Wolves stepped it up second half. So, did he come out and say that?
And I think for me, as a Spurs fan, and I know that I often talk with Spurs goggles on, but, in all seriousness, I'm from an FPL point of view, I'm always got Spurs goggles on. But from a Spurs point of view, I will say if I don't think that there's something wrong. And I think with Spurs at the moment, we've got so used to winning, and we've been on such a run since that derby with the Barcelona game, and with the second Arsenal the derby in the League Cup, and then the league results that we've had against Bournemouth and Everton. And I think, we turned up on Saturday. Harry Kane's just got his MBE, so it's all happy at Spurs at the moment. Look where we are, second in the league at Christmas. We go into that game, Harry Kane scores an absolute worldie of a goal, and take nothing away from Harry Kane. And I just think that we just kind of went, okay, we're going to win the game now.
Yeah, Florin Sandu is saying Spurs were overconfident, and when Wolves got back into it, they couldn't push back.
And I think it got to a point where then when we need to drive on, we don't have the legs to do that. We need to win a game confidently and put the team out before we take a step back.
Okay.
And that for me as a Spurs fan is worrying. From an FPL point of view, I'm not worried about my Spurs assets particularly, because I think that this is a massive learning curve, this Wolves game. It won't happen again.
Okay, all right. Well, FPL Tips is here. Tips, good to see you. We've been talking about your Instagram earlier, so you can catch up with that a bit later. At FPL Tips _ on Instagram. He has super chatted. Thank you for super chatting. He has said, hi again. Kane worth keeping without Son. So just to finish up your point about Kane there, worth keeping even without Son.
Yeah. It's without Eriksen that's the problem.
And he's put Aguero question mark. So you'd keep Kane even though Aguero's back amongst the goals.
Yeah.
You would. Of course you would.
Look, you're not going to get... So you've got Aguero versus Liverpool, or Kane versus Cardiff. Of course we're going to...
I think for this game, absolutely.
Don't do anything yet. I mean, see what happens with Aguero, and see what happens with Kane when Son goes. But for me, it's Eriksen that's the important one for Kane. If anything, Son not being there might help Kane. Okay,
Josh Oram, thanks for joining, Josh. Spurs should have buried the game in the first half, 100%. In his opinion. Should have got that game done and dusted in the first half.
Agree.
What else have we got here? Kane had a single touch in the box and only one shot with which he scored. Kane is dropping deeper than Sissoko and Winks, even with Eriksen on the pitch. Unbelievable, Anas is saying. Yeah, it was an interesting and sort of weird performance, wasn't it? I don't really know what to make of it. He's actually top for over-performers in the XG statistics, Kane. So that's suggesting that he was lucky to even get what he got, Kane, from the game, which I think is reflected in the heat maps that we've seen, the shot maps that we've seen, and what from you guys are saying on the live stream. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. So he was lucky. If you captained in this game week, you're probably lucky to have the 6, to be honest. Probably lucky to have it.
Can we move from one side of London and a big asset to another and talk about Hazard?
Of course we can. Yeah, go on. The Chelsea game, then.
The Chelsea game.
What do you make of that Chelsea game today? We sat and watched it, didn't we? We ran the in-laws, who are big Chelsea fans, as you guys are probably aware. We've mentioned that before. I got a lot of insight, actually, from
my dad.
Well, your dad and your brother, big Chelsea fans.
So
they
stressed, my dad.
watched them week in, week out. I got a lot of insight from that. Not all positive, I have to say. Not
My
all,
dad was so
not all
stressed,
positive.
bless him. You've never seen
They
this
were
before.
really on the edge of their seats, and I think once the game had finished, I think your dad said something like, "I can't believe I'm on the edge of my seat for a Crystal Palace game where we've nicked it 1-0." But that was the nature of the game, wasn't it? That was the nature of the game. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I said to you, didn't I, before today's game, that since we were going out this morning, and I said, Hazard's, for me, a real concern. Because since I took him out and did the Sané transfer, it sort of worked out okay, because Sané's been, when he's played, has been good. But Hazard's gone on this amazing run, and it's like I'm starting to now think about this: I'm essential again. And then today, nothing. And so then you're kind of like, right, well, I just don't know how I feel about Hazard. And then at the same time, you've got Alonso, and I keep looking at him and thinking, that's a lot of money, and could I spend that money better elsewhere? And look particularly today at David Luiz, who got the assist as well as the clean sheet and didn't get booked. So what do you do? And it's tough, I think, with Chelsea at the moment, because I'm looking at them and I never look at Chelsea and think they look brilliant or they look really comfortable. They always seem to do something that puts them in a predicament at some stage, and I think that's kind of what my dad was getting at today, wasn't it? Is that they always seem to just close off games in the way that Chelsea used to close off games.
I think with Hazard as well is that some weeks he's good, some weeks he's not good. So if you're going to get him, I think you stick with him. And at this time of the period of time in which we're at in FPL, where we're kind of, a lot of people are trying to find the right big asset to get on. In a week where Hazard blanks, but one of the other big assets does well, like Salah and like Sterling, I think even got an assist today. It's really frustrating when your asset that you've got doesn't get it, and then the one that everybody else has got does. And from that perspective, if you've got Hazard, I think you have to keep him and stick with him for the long term, knowing that over the course of a few game weeks, he's going to deliver you an average sort of 7-8 points a game week. But the challenge with that is it's very hard then to captain him. It's very hard to put the armband on him, and at a price of 11 points something, you want to be able to confidently put the armband on an £11 million player, do you not? So I think that's the thing that puts me off Hazard, is that yes, I'm going to miss out on some big hauls, but I could never. It's such a risk putting the armband on him versus Salah, who's getting 12 points a week, right? Very, very difficult.
I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because I keep looking at Chelsea and thinking, I would really like another Chelsea asset, but then I don't want to lose anyone that I've currently got in order to get one, and I certainly don't trust any of the Chelsea attackers. Like, I don't trust Morata or Giroud to really
Willian was bad today, wasn't he? His first touch has gone, Willian, hasn't it?
I don't really know what's going on, so I'll watch today with interest, because it's the first Chelsea game that I've actually sat and watched on the TV for a little while properly. And I kind of looked at Hazard today and thought, yeah, I'm all right actually. I think particularly after them watching Pogba, straight afterwards, pretty much.
The challenge we've got with everything we've just said though is that Hazard's had a bad game, so that means he's due a good one. And actually, Southampton and Newcastle next at home in the next two. So if you've got Hazard and you're disappointed with the haul today or with the 2-pointer, then you can't sell him, can you? You've got to stick with him for those two games.
Let's talk about Alonso then. What are you doing about Alonso?
Oh, he's got to go, hasn't he? He's got to go. He just doesn't look. He's nowhere near as attacking. He doesn't pass the eye test for me at all. There was a lot on Twitter earlier about the fact that when Hazard gets the ball, he doesn't like passing it to Alonso. And I saw that tweet at half time. I just thought, that's nonsense. Then I looked at it and I just thought, yeah. There's a lot of times when Hazard got the ball or somebody got the ball in the middle of the park, Jorginho 9 times out of 10, because he did 3 times as many passes as anybody else, didn't he? It's ridiculous. And the pass is on to Alonso, but he doesn't seem to receive the ball perhaps as much as you think he should. And I don't know why that is, guys. I don't know why that is. But I'm seriously losing patience with Alonso. Now, the thing that's stopping me doing it is because I did this exact thing at this exact time last year, and it cost me dearly. And with Southampton and Newcastle up next, if there's nothing in those games for Alonso, then before Arsenal in Gameweek 23, he's got to go, hasn't he? He's got to go. I think I'm going to give him the Southampton game, but if there's nothing in that game for him, attacking-wise, even if they keep a clean sheet, and I need the money for Salah, then that's happening.
Because he's going to go down again tonight.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
And it's like, so he'll be at 6.8.
Which is what I pretty much bought him for, I think. So there's all my profit gone in Alonso.
And I kind of keep looking at him and thinking, maybe I'll downgrade him to David Luiz. And then in my head I thought, if Lee's going to downgrade him, I'll stick. Because it's bound to,
Deja vu.
It's bound to work out for me. but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to change him before the Southampton game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not
All
sure.
right, well,
it's
listen,
the first time that I'm really wavering on Alonso.
We've got so much to talk about. We've got to move on. A word for Kante. Took that goal well, didn't he?
Yeah, but don't get him.
No, I don't think so. But did take the goal very, very well indeed, I must say. Where else should we go? City. Let's talk about them then. So, an up and down week. I think if you'd have walked into... I saw this tweet from Jay Eggersdorf the other day, guys. Great tweet. He said, if you'd have walked into any bookies on the 8th of December and said that on the 30th of December that Liverpool would be 7 points clear of City and City would have lost 3 out of the 5 games they played in December, you'd got very, very good odds on that. Very, very good odds. And I think, actually, that is what's cost me. That is, go back to the beginning of this live stream, that is why my Christmas has been so bad, is because on the 8th of December, or about that period of time, I went for the double up, Sterling and Sané. City were looking imperious. They were smashing teams everywhere, right? And I got Sterling and Sané as my 2 double up on City. And it was from then on that they went on that bad run that's cost me dear. I must admit, I did not see it coming. City have really tripped up the last couple of weeks. And I'm not going to say they were unlucky, but in the Palace game that they lost at home, Townsend is never going to score like that again. And in the Leicester game when they went away to the King Power, Pereira never going to score a goal like that again, right? So I'm not saying they're unlucky because, got to lose those games, right? But they've slipped up, and that's to Liverpool's advantage. So obviously I'm very, very happy. But what's your feeling on City now? Are you getting off of Sané and off of Ederson, clearly off of Ederson, but off of all the City assets and piling onto someone else? Or do you feel like Fernandinho's back now? Getting players back into the game. So actually they're a bit more... Well, it could be a bit more of an asset.
They're all going down again tonight, the City assets, aren't they, pretty much? I have got rid of Sané tonight. You've
done Sané to Pogba already?
I have.
By the sounds of it,
yeah. Because Pogba's going up and Sané's going down. And I'm at a point where I was like, do you know what? And if I'm really brutally honest, I do not trust... I don't think City will beat you. I really don't. And I'm looking at that thinking, actually, there's not going to be hauls of goals in that game. Liverpool aren't that team where City will go and beat them 4-0. They're just not. They won't defend. They'll defend well. So, even with Sané's 6 minutes, I know he's going to play against Liverpool, but if he gets a goal, it will be a goal. Whereas I look at Pogba and I think, you've got Newcastle, you could get 3.
Yes.
So that's why I've done that. I am going to get off Ederson as well because I just can't trust the man not to concede.
Let's talk about City in the context of the title race with Liverpool then and discuss those 2 teams together, because that's obviously the big game come Thursday. Which FPL assets will you have in your team going into that game?
Just Liverpool.
Which is what, Salah and Robertson?
Yeah.
Just those 2? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm looking to have probably Robertson. I probably will still have Sané. And it's probably just those 2 for the moment. It's probably just Salah. Those 2. Well, listen, I really obviously think that Salah is a very good option right now. Obviously, state the obvious. A very, very good option right now. I do feel like, Klopp this year, he's not quite as gung-ho against the big teams. Last year we went to the Etihad and we lost 5-0, right? Or 5-1, can't remember. But Mane got sent off, if you remember. We got a tank in. We will want to... I know I appreciate it's a different game. It's a very different game. But I just think if Liverpool go there and win, which obviously I hope they do, I can't see it being a tanking. I can't see Salah getting a hat-trick, right? No. So from my perspective, do I bring Salah in a week early, given that he's going to be up against probably Zinchenko or Danilo, maybe switch. Danilo was on the other side, wasn't he? Because he's rested Walker, if you notice, for today. So he's obviously resting Walker for the Liverpool game. Will he put Danilo on that side? Will he go Zinchenko? Whoever he plays is going to have a tough game against Salah, because I'm expecting Klopp to go back to the 4-3-3. Firmino's back on form. That formation is really working.
Christmas, I told you about Firmino at Christmas.
Firmino, what an absolute star against Arsenal. Was an absolute star. So I expect Salah to have a good game against Man City, because he could give whoever is at fullback for City on that side a torrid time. He could give him a torrid time, no doubt about it. However, I don't see us going crazy. I don't see Klopp going crazy. You go out to win the game, but not go crazy. From that perspective, then, Gameweek 22 is the time I'd want to look to get Salah in, because the fixtures for Liverpool then look very, very good from then on. So my view is, well, do I go in, and that's why we put it in the poll question, do we go early on Salah, or do I go early on Salah and get him in right now? Because I know his price is probably, or Martial.
Okay.
Which Martial doesn't feel right to lose him at the moment. Sané does, but leaves me without any City, so who knows? So it's probably one of those 2 that's going to go. Obviously, I want Salah in, but I think I'm going to suck up those price rises, and he's probably going to be 13.4 by the time I get him in, which is ludicrous, right? That's probably what's going to happen. And I'm probably going to get him in Game Week 22. It's probably what's going to happen, but we shall see. We shall see. But that's how I'm going into that game with Sané and Robertson. And Byrie Beckford, thank you for joining, Byrie. He's super chatted as well. He said, "Is it too early to wildcard?" Now I noticed I was coming on. The little it says wildcard active on my screen. I was like, yes, I can get rid of all this dross that's in my team.
I'm sure we just had this conversation about wildcards. I'm sure. Did I not have this conversation with you earlier? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But I basically said that I was gonna hold for a couple of weeks because I'm sure it was him. Said that he was thinking about it, but I actually don't think his team's in that bad a shape. I think it looks quite good.
Yeah. So Barry, Happy New Year to you too. It is, I think, mate, a bit too early to wildcard.
If your team, it looks good.
If your team is a complete shambles,
no, it's not.
then yes. But I think you've got to hold off. There's a lot of double game weeks that we're going to get over the next few weeks and months in FPL. That wildcard is going to come in very handy indeed, sir. I would be holding on to that.
Particularly, there's some really nice fixtures coming up for Liverpool, like I would say, after 21. So I think, after this City game, the Liverpool assets will become really important. I'm going to treble up on Liverpool from 10-22.
Are you?
Yeah, 100% going to treble up on Liverpool from 22.
And going back to the poll question, are you trebling up with a double defence or a double attack? What's your thoughts? Attack. We're in the mood. Liverpool absolutely in the mood, aren't they?
Attack. I'm going to keep Robbo for sure.
Yes, I think you should.
I'm going to go for an all-out Liverpool attack.
So City assets, you're getting off of them then.
City
are binned.
For now, they are. I will in my wild card. A City player will come back, because I think at that stage their fixtures look a bit better. I don't fancy them against Liverpool, but towards the end of January I'll play my second wild card.
After Liverpool, it's Wolves, Huddersfield, Newcastle, and then Arsenal at home. Arsenal at home being a red fixture on the FF Scout ticker,
fixture.
But the way that Arsenal defend against Liverpool, it doesn't feel like that's a red fixture. So 4 pretty nice games after the Liverpool game for City. So
there will be some, but I think for me, I just don't know who I want as a City asset, and I'm looking at that team thinking actually maybe I just have David Silva.
Mohamed Al Baloshi, he's saying, Sam, you're going to triple up. I thought you hated tripling up. He says.
I do, but how can you? I hate the treble up. I hate it. But you look at Liverpool at the moment, and honestly, they look so good that I think it would be madness not to.
They do look good, don't they? They do absolutely look good.
Particularly from an attacking point of view. I really like Liverpool defensively, but from I just look at Shaqiri and I look at Firmino, and in my mind I keep thinking, I just know Firmino is I just know he'll explode because he does it every single year, and I don't want to miss it.
He certainly does. Well, I think you might have. I mean, the hat-trick at the weekend.
No, but he normally starts him off, doesn't it? He normally has one, and then he picks him up regularly after that.
I think so, although
not against City, of course, but the Liverpool fixtures after are lovely, so I'm tempted.
Yeah, he did do very well. What I will say about him is that had Salah not given Firmino the penalty, you're then talking about Salah having 2 goals and an assist, 3 bonus points, etc., etc. And Firmino will have got a couple of goals and maybe 2 bonus points and a good haul, but then, everyone's talking about Salah then, aren't they?
I've already got Salah.
Yeah, so would you go Firmino as a differential going into this nice fixture? Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I just have them both.
You could do. You absolutely could do.
I just have them both, and they'll get me assists and goals galore.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, there's Shaqiri as well, of course, who I think is also a bit of a legend at the moment.
And this for me is the dilemma, because I like the way that Liverpool are attacking right now is very, very good, but the way that we've defended all season has been amazing. It's been amazing. And for me, I know you're going for the double attack and the single defence, which looks really, really good. If I end up tripling on Liverpool, which I think I'm going to do, I think that does look like a good option. I think I'm going to be double defence with Salah. I think Trent and Robbo at the back there, I think offer something above and beyond
Alisson.
Clean sheets. I do indeed, yeah, absolutely. And I think he'll get plenty of 6s. But Robbo gets regularly over 6. Trent will get regularly over 6. I think he's on the odd free kick. He's on corners.
Must admit, I was
really... 5-1, 5-2, I think Trent is a very, very good option.
I'm watching you against Arsenal this week. Every time Trent got the ball, I was like, oh no.
He's a very good option.
And you kept saying, well, it's okay, it's all right, it's not that highly owned. And then when I looked it up, and he's like 19%, and you think, actually, that's massive.
And I saw a video on YouTube, they do an inside Anfield, right, where they have this kind of behind the scenes thing, and there were some shots of Joe Gomez on crutches, right? So he's not coming back anytime soon, Joe Gomez. Nathaniel Clyne is fit, so there is a rotation risk there with Nathaniel Clyne, but Trent, I think, he's his man. He's his man. There's no doubt about it.
And obviously, you've got the Champions League in the kick-off again.
Yes, of course, that's coming up. That's absolutely coming up. We had a super chat while we were rambling about Liverpool there. So Karam Abu Shamala, who I regularly talk to on Twitter. So Karam, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining. I'm selling Raz, and so that's Raheem Sterling, and I have Martial. Pogba or Hazard, given that he's selling Sterling. He's got Martial already. Does he get Pogba or Hazard?
Pogba.
I think that is the theme, isn't it?
Pogba.
That is the theme. The fact that he is 800 million% or whatever on fix is no coincidence. It's no coincidence.
What is he now? Let's look.
Have a look. He was up at 90 something a minute ago. He's going to be flying up, and there's good reason for that. 3 double-digit scores, 3 man of the match performances, and fixtures that look out of this world for Manchester United. It's him, isn't it? It's him. It's Pogba. It's got to be. It's got to be. Let's move on briefly then. What's he on?
Look at him.
Something like 82. But goodness me, 82%. Absolutely unreal. Any more headlines that you want to talk about before we talk about teams and leagues and all that sort of thing?
Who else did I write down?
Because we've talked about all the big teams.
Yeah,
right?
I do. Actually, have a couple I want to talk about.
Go on. West Ham. What happened to West Ham?
I've written down West Ham and Bournemouth because I've got West Ham in Felipe Anderson and I've got Bournemouth in Fraser. And I keep looking at those two. And then Felipe Anderson sort of has this habit of doing brilliant in one game week and then nothing. And then he'll be brilliant again in the next game week and then do nothing. So yeah. I'm sort of happy with that because, he's one of my cheaper midfielders. So if he performs I can't really moan, can I? He got a brace in game week 19 and then nothing in 20. Okay, fine, fair enough. Nobody really saw that result coming today, I don't think. I don't even think the Burnley fans thought that was going to happen, did they?
Yeah.
But the Bournemouth assets, I kind of keep looking at Fraser and thinking maybe it is time. Maybe it's time.
Well, the Bournemouth fixtures look incredibly difficult, actually. So if you look at, let's go to the the FF Scout ticker and have a look at the Bournemouth fixtures: Watford, Everton, West Ham, Chelsea, Cardiff. I mean, that is a mixed bag, to say the least. There's a few home games in there, which will give Fraser owners like me a bit of hope. But that's tricky. And actually, the Bournemouth fixtures past that actually look pretty tricky too. So is it time to move Fraser on? I personally would end up losing quite a bit of money by getting rid of Fraser, which is a bit of a problem.
And that's my issue really with him, is that I've got a lot of my team value is tied up in Fraser, and with these players I don't so much mind losing that at this stage of the season, but I keep thinking, well, if I want to then get him back, that's a lot of extra money that I've got to find from somewhere else.
Been benched twice in a row now, as George Malayil is saying, and so is Spencer Lee. Why is Fraser benched today? So 2 benches in a row. What's going on?
No idea.
We have a look at that, don't we?
It's really bizarre. I just did not see that benching coming. I kind of thought, okay, he was benched on Saturday, came on. Was it Saturday? Yeah, came on, got an assist. So I'll take that. That's fine. But I kind of thought, well, you've had your rest now, so why has he benched him again?
Well, he sort of did. He sort of did the same thing with Brooks a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? He didn't take him out for 1 game week. He took him out for a couple of game weeks. So it feels like Howe is the sort of manager that when he wants to give a player a rest, he says, right, you have a week off. Just have a proper rest. Not just, I'll give you 60 minutes or come on for 20 minutes. Have a rest. 2 games and then come back in fresh and firing. And I feel like he feels like he's got the squad to do that. So fair play. I think he's wrong, because they're getting smashed left, right and centre, right? They got smashed at Spurs. They've been smashed at Man United today. So they're looking bad. They're looking bad, Bournemouth. And I think it probably is time to get rid of Fraser, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit like, Bournemouth, they're just not performing in the way that I would want them to, for me to keep Fraser. Now I've only got Fraser, so it's not like a dire situation or anything. But I think the time has come to roll the dice with the Bournemouth assets.
I think you're possibly right. I think you guys are saying that as well. So MU Fan TV, Bournemouth didn't see this game as winnable. Steve Wynyard, just sell him. Neil Craston, time to sell Fraser.
Kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Maybe Eddie Howe is just picking his battles, Florin is saying. Oh, maybe. But he's not got a lot of battles to pick over the next few weeks.
They need to win a game.
Yeah, Fraser was good only until game week 18, Gianni's saying. What else are you guys saying? Gavin Doyle, a lot of value in Fraser and Wilson, as I got them at the start. So do I stick or twist? It's tough, isn't it, with Bournemouth? But at the minute, they are bang out of form. Just to finish up on your Anderson piece, I think somebody in the live chat was talking about his home versus his away form. There's some nice home form there for Anderson, but away, not so good. So doesn't travel very well. And that would have been a long old journey for West Ham today. Up to Burnley, that is a trek. So is Bournemouth up to Manchester. So is Everton up to Brighton. So is Huddersfield down to Fulham. So a lot of teams have had to travel a long distance, which, given that we are where we are with the fixtures right now, travelling does take its toll on the team. There's no doubt about it.
And the thing is, Felipe Anderson has got a nice fixture versus Brighton at home on Wednesday. So it's,
Sure.
you know, I'm
the West Ham fixtures look good, I think.
You know,
still,
it's fine. It's just, and I think I've come to terms with the fact that Felipe Anderson does perform better at home. So when I get a home game, I'm expecting him to return for me. And when he goes away from home, I'm expecting less from him, and that's okay. But with Fraser, I'm just really frustrated at the moment.
All right, okay. We had another super chat where we're talking about Anderson there again from Byrie. So Byrie, thank you very much for the super chat. Anderson to Pogba. And Edison to Pickford, 2 free transfers. So you want to do those transfers. Anderson to Pogba, Edison to Pickford. I would call your jets a bit on Anderson. I know he didn't get any points today, but he has looked red hot form. What was the Gameweek 19? 2 goals, wasn't it, for Anderson? I mean, come on, you can't sell Anderson right now. You do need Pogba. Don't disagree with that. You do need Pogba, but it feels like you need a bit of Anderson and Pogba, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't lose Anderson at the moment.
No, I don't think you can sell Anderson.
Edison, on the other hand.
Edison for Pickford, yeah, done.
But for Pickford, so I'm really. If anyone wants to come talk to me on Instagram later about goalkeepers, I'd be grateful.
Well, I don't think you. I don't actually rate Pickford as a keeper. I think he's a little rat face. He's like Vardy. But Everton's fixtures do look very, very good going forward.
I've got Dino. I don't want another Everton defender.
Leicester, Bournemouth, Southampton, Huddersfield, Wolves, top of the ticker on Scout. So you can't argue with that Pickford pick. But if you've got Luca Digne, then you probably don't want to.
I don't want to double up on the Everton.
Probably don't want to double up, guys. I could talk about these last 2 game weeks over and over and over again because it's been a hell of a roller coaster. But we need to talk about teams. We need to talk about how we're all getting on. We need to talk about wooden spoons and things like that. So let's talk about my team first and foremost. I don't know if these ranks are up to date. I don't think they are because
I was just going to have a look.
I'm pretty sure that I'm doing better than that, which is where I was, I think, before the Man United game.
They're still what they were last night.
All right, well, in that case, we're going to revert to our old friend Live FPL, livefpl.net, which is an absolute chuffing godsend, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, I need to get this because I haven't got it still.
It's really, really good. So the website is a bit full of ads and stuff, but if you can get over that...
Live FPL.
Livefpl.net. Yeah, you put in your tips. So guys, get on this. It's very, very good. It's actually quite addictive because it updates live. So as the goals are going in, it'll update your rank and update the leagues and all that sort of stuff. So
okay, I'm going to have to do this in a minute then.
I don't know how much money the Premier League need to throw at these guys to buy the technology they've got here. So they can live auto-update official FPL, but this is what they need. So you can see my team here, guys.
Just log into it in the same way.
Yeah, you can just you go to the website and you put your ranking. You don't need to create an account. There's none of that stuff going on.
Just log in with my normal FPL stuff.
So I could see yours now. We could put if you know your team number. Do you know your number? We'll find that out. For next stream, we'll find that out. So this is my team as is, and it's not as graphically amazing as official FPL, right? But it gives us what we need to give. So there's Pogba, very, very good, happy with that. Kane, very glad that I was talked out of Kane captain on Saturday morning and put the armband on Pogba. I was pretty keen to put it on him anyway. But what I will say is that saved my game week, because outside of that, it's pretty bad. Richarlison 2, Sané and Fraser with cameos that are very, very annoying. Hate them. Digne with 2, very bad. Foster, pretty bad too. So apart from Jimenez, which I'm very happy with because it's completely unexpected, Pogba has saved my game week. There's no doubt about it. My old rank was 269k before Pogba, which is absolutely woeful.
What did you get? Overall?
I got 69 minus 4 this week, which is pretty good, but still pretty bad. New rank is 201k. So guys, listen, it is absolutely not where it needs to be, but it's not this game week. It's not game week 20 that's caused me the pain. Game week 19 caused me an absolute world of pain, guys. A world of pain. I was down in 30 something when people were posting 70s and 80s. I was absolutely chuffing awful. So 18 was bad, 19 was catastrophic, 20 is the start of the revolution. It's the start of the revival. So that's what we're aiming for now. 201 is my live overall rank, absolute pony, but we're going to try and do a bit better going forward. Let's have a look at some of the leagues.
Yeah, because I had 80 last week.
God, goodness me, this website. It's a good website, but graphically it's demanding.
58 this week.
Where are you? So let's have a look. You're down here somewhere.
Live stream regulars, is that?
Oh. This is live stream regulars. So here you are. So again, if you click on your name, hopefully you guys can see this in the on the chat window. This is the first time we've really used this site, isn't it?
I got 58 this week.
So 58. Talk us through this. Rashford very good. Kane very good. Salah very good. That's not bad, right?
It's all right.
Green Arrow.
Yeah. Green Arrow. Yeah. Fix has me at just over 20k. So very, very about 20 and a half k. So I'll be somewhere there or thereabouts, which is fine. Given that before Christmas I was at 28k, I had a rise last week up to about 22-ish. So I think it's about a 2k rise this game week. So it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Good. All right. Solid game week, I would call that.
Yeah.
Very solid game week. Let's
captain
have a look
choice.
at...
Somebody... Right, Josh is going to pick my captain for next week because I can't pick a captain. So Josh is going to pick it. And we'll see if Josh can do better than me.
You need to get onto, if you've not been on YouTube yet and checked out FPL Dare, you guys need to go and see FPL Dare, and you need to go and see it. He picks his whole team, and he picks everything by throwing darts at dartboards and kicking balls at crossbars. Absolutely brilliant.
But so far this season, I have messed up Josh's captain quite a few times because he keeps listening to me. So for this game week coming, Josh is going to pick the captain. That'll be it.
Superb.
I'm just going to go for what he says. See if he does better than me.
Top of the live stream regulars is Mr. Ryan Foley, still flying high with a total of 1,375 points. 56 points this game week, so solid again. I think the Sané captain is gonna hurt. I think, but he had Hazard vice, so that wouldn't have worked out very well either. So it's solid. It's all right, Ryan. It's not too bad. Paul Wickett doing very well with 66. Peter Stead, very good. Peter 72. Pogba, Salah captain. Martial in there too, Jimenez and Kane. Very, very solid game week there from Peter. Tricky game week for Richard in at number 4, down a couple of places with 39 this game week with Kane captain, which is going to sting a little bit. Kane captain, Ericsson vice. Obviously a lot of love there for the Spurs. A lot of love for the Spurs from Richard Nightgist.
Well, it should have been, shouldn't it?
Should have been, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at who could be in wooden spoon territory for this week. I got a feeling
Is it Jeffers?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's Ian Wilson, actually. I remember seeing, look, 31. Whoosh, ouch. Let's have a look a bit further down. Let's see if we can see anything worse than 31. Ian, that's a horrendous score, mate. FPL as Abra Dubravka in at 31 as well. So it could be shared. And it looks like FPL as has made a 4-point hit. Let's see if Ian made any hits. No hits. So it looks like it could be FPL as with 31. With Abra Dubravka. We're going to check out his team in a minute. Let's have a little scroll down.
At one point yesterday, was Jeff not on 6?
Was he?
With like 5 players played or something. Or 4. I think he was on 4 with 6 players played because somebody got him a -1.
I do know that Maria's on in front of him now, which is a position that I can sympathise with, Jeff. I can sympathise with your situation there, Jeff. Absolutely. So 31, it looks like FPL as, who we know on Twitter. We know and love FPL as on Twitter. Abra Dubravka. A sea of 2s and 3s for FPL as, and just the 1-5 from Son thrown in there. Goodness me. Oh, Alonso as well. So a very, very tough week. So FPL as, if you are here, we know you're on Twitter, so I'll come and find you. Come and find me, and we will sort out a wooden spoon for you, sir. So very, very, I was going to say very, very well done. Commiserations, I think. Commiserations. Tough game week.
We didn't have a wooden spoon winner for game week.
Oh, we haven't got time
20.
for that.
19.
19. We haven't got time for that. I've tried to, as best I can, just erase game week 19 from the cache. I've just tried to get rid of that out of my memory altogether. Absolutely woeful. I don't even want to talk about that game week anymore. But the wooden spoon for game week 20 goes to FPL as, who we will find on Twitter with 31 points. Tough game week. Very, very tough game week. Right, where should we go next? We need to do polls, and then we need to do a little bit about this manager of the month thing that we're doing. So let's go to the polls. Let's have a look at this, and then we're going to hand over to the boys from Who Got the Assist, because they are on a live stream tonight. We're going to check in with those guys in a minute. Here we go. Let's see if I get the little eye today. I hope I do.
They're saying that last week you were second for the wooden spoon.
Well, that's exactly why I don't want to talk about it, guys. You've hit the nail on the head, or the wooden spoon on the head. I absolutely don't want to talk about it. Jeff is quite rightly saying manager of the month for December. We should talk about that as well, shouldn't we? That's the last game for December.
The last game week
point,
for December.
Jeff.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Well done.
Let's do, or should we? Let's do that once the leagues are updated when we do Wednesday.
Oh, we could do that at the beginning of Wednesday.
If the guys have voted for it, because
we will have, because we can sort it by December, can't we? So we won't include the points from
all
Tuesday.
the official stuff will be updated. Yeah. We'll have a look at it then. Let's do that.
We'll do that at the beginning of Wednesday's stream.
So if you had Son to go to the Asian Games, reluctantly he's got to make way. Do you get a Man U player, Pogba, Martial, or as I've written in the polls, Matrial? Spurs, Moura and Lamella. Do you go for Everton, Siggy or Richarlison, Shaqiri or Felipe Anderson? Who would you go for out of that lot?
Well, get Pogba.
Yes, I think I would do the same. 90%, as predicted, is going for either Pogba or Martial, and I guess they're going for Pogba, and that is overwhelmingly the favourite. Game week 21 captain, early thoughts on midweek
Josh?
on New Year's Day. Josh, what are you thinking? Kane, Hazard, Salah, Aubameyang, somebody else?
Other?
Who are you thinking?
Pogba.
You fancy Pogba still, do you? Okay, very good.
Well, probably. That's what Josh is going to pick, I reckon.
That's it. So 42% of you going Hazard, which with a home fixture against Southampton, I can understand why you'd want to go there.
Kane has got Cardiff.
Kane, 24%. That is a nice fixture
Josh,
for Kane, no doubt
you're
about it.
going to have to talk me out of this Kane captain
Spurs
business.
do score more goals away from home.
Oh,
they
Josh!
seem better away from home than they do at home right now.
I want to put it on Kane.
Aubameyang.
Would you want to put it on Kane?
Josh, just tell her to put it on Felipe Anderson, will you? Aubameyang, 19%, Salah, 5%, and other, 8%. So Hazard and Kane, the front runners for the Game Week 21 captain. Salah, pretend you didn't have... In fact, let me answer this. Yes, right now. Yep, Game Week 22, or no. I think after the City game.
No, now. Right now.
I think after the City game. 47% are saying after the City game. 40% saying yes right now, and only 11 saying no. So overwhelmingly, the answer is... Yes, you've got to have him, but it's when? Is it now or is it next week?
Captain Edison.
Is he what he's saying? Captain Edison. Brilliant, Josh. Very good.
No, Josh.
That'll be the week he saves a penalty. No doubt about it.
What, against Liverpool? Salah misses a penalty, Edison saves it.
As long as you win 3-0, I don't mind. Preferred Liverpool double up, defensive double up, or an attacking double? You fancy the attacking double up, don't you? So you're going to go there. A lot of It's just you. A lot of people looking at the Trent Robbo double up, or maybe even the Virgil van Dijk or Alisson double up. 81% fancy Liverpool at the back, 18% attacking double up. And the next Wednesday night stream, do you guys want to see us do that? Yes or no?
No, I don't.
22% say no, guys. Come on. Come on. 77% saying absolutely. 22% saying Newcastle. Because Newcastle Man U, innit? Newcastle Man U.
That's just Josh. And Man U's Fan TV. They don't want to listen to us. They just want to watch Man U.
A lot of Manchester United fans on tonight who want to watch the game.
You can watch
absolutely.
the game, just mute the commentary and we'll commentate.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. So what we will do, an FPL Family live stream on Wednesday. That's when we're next going to stream.
At
the
8
games
o'clock.
will be on. We will try and start about 8 o'clock. The games will be 15 minutes in.
Not
Newcastle versus Man U starts at 8. So we will start on kickoff with United. I don't know how long we're going to go for. We'll definitely do the first half. We'll maybe have a little bit of a break at half time, and then maybe we'll do the second half and
I'll try
see how
not
we
to
go.
swear or get overexcited.
Let's try not to get too emotional on the stream.
At
Absolutely.
least Spurs aren't playing, right? So it'll be all right.
So it should be alright. Yeah, it should be alright. Yeah. Guys, that is it for tonight. That is it. Let me do a quick tease for this. This is something that I've been planning for a little while, and I'm very excited to share with you guys if I can get back into the OBS. This is our upcoming Manager of the Month competition. So what we're going to do is very similar to the FPL Family Christmas Present League that we ran throughout December, which was run in the end by Matthew Eziashi. Well done, Matthew. And he's got his tickets now, so hopefully he's planned his trip to Wembley. And Viali Wright, of course, came top of that league, although he was a non-UK. What we're planning to do is do a Manager of the Month. So from January, I will launch it officially on Twitter sometime between, I don't know, now and the next game week probably. But we're going to start it in February. February is going to be the first FPL Family Manager of the Month. And it's for all you managers that, you know, like me, maybe having a bit of a bad time of it, but at the start of each month, you've got the opportunity to start a brand new league and to win something decent. Now, we want to win something decent. I mean, I know you guys love the mugs, and I know we love giving out the mugs and the spoons and all that sort of stuff, but
Stuff
actually,
with my face on it.
what I wanted to do was try and give out something decent. The Wembley Stadium tour was great, wasn't it? It was great. But it cost me a few quid. So what I thought we'd do is, we'd do a Manager of the Month, we'd go on to Patreon. You guys can start doing two things. You can start giving us a few quid every month to sponsor us, so to help us to continue doing what we're doing. We buy new equipment and all that sort of stuff, as well as entering the FPL Family Manager of the Month. And the prizes will be good, guys. We'll try and do decent prizes, and you can tell me what you want, right? Give me some feedback. If you think this is a terrible idea, we'll stop doing it. If you think it's a great idea, and we'll do it, and we'll ramp it up, and we'll do whatever you want.
What are you thinking?
Well, prize, we can do football shirts, we can do retro football shirts, we can do copies of FIFA, we can do whatever, right? And if we get, you know, the more Patreons we get, the more people supporting us, the better the prizes can get, right? So if we get hundreds of Patreons, we can start giving away, rather than copies of FIFA, PlayStations to play them on. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, right? I don't know. So what I want to do is...
Sounds like it's going to cost me a lot in postage.
I haven't considered the forms you've got to fill in to do this. No, I haven't considered that.
I've got to send it to India, and a custom form is going to get ridiculous. What's in this packet? Well...
Yeah, I haven't considered... But I think I hope and I think that it'll be a cool thing to do. So guys, I'll be launching that. I'll be sending the link to our Patreon site on Twitter over the next few days. You'll have the whole of January to think about whether you want to do it or not. And then starting in February, which I think is game week 24 maybe game week 24, 25 as early February. I think there's maybe 4 game weeks in February. That will be the first manager a month. And then in our live stream at the end of February, when February's done, we will announce who is the manager of the month, who's won the prize. We'll close that league, we'll start a new one, and everyone that's a Patreon by then will get access to the code for the March FPL Family Manager of the Month. And I will only obviously be putting the code out on Patreon. So I can put posts on Patreon that only people that are Patreons can see.
Sounds
so
like I'm going to get confused, doesn't it?
The codes won't be going on Twitter or Insta or even on these live streams, guys. I won't be posting the codes publicly, clearly. They'll be only for Patreons. So if it's something you're interested in, guys, and you want to come and support us as well, which of course we'd love you to do, then absolutely we'll be running that and we'll be doing monthly prizes, and we'll be doing good prizes, we'll be doing some cool prizes. Just an idea. If it crashes and burns, we'll stop doing it in May, but hopefully it's a good idea and you guys like it. Look out on Twitter at FPL Family for a bit more information on that coming very, very soon. Right, I think that is about it, Sam. That is about it for today. What a hell of a lot to do. And to talk about, right? So we haven't really even discussed the fixtures that are upcoming. Should we do that? It's very quick.
Well, I've written them down.
Very, very quick look, because I know the boys who got the assist are going to be starting pretty soon as well, and we need to go and check those guys out. Let's have a look. Where do you think the FPL points are here? Go on then. Pick the bones out of that in 10 seconds.
Harry Kane.
Kane at Cardiff.
Felipe Anderson versus Brighton.
Aubameyang at Fulham, right?
Aubameyang at... What? Yes, Aubameyang at Fulham.
Aubameyang, sorry, playing Fulham,
talked about Arsenal, have we? Yeah, you're right. Pogba.
Chelsea at home to Southampton.
Pogba at Newcastle.
I think there's some points there.
West Ham. Watford against Bournemouth.
Brighton don't travel well. Keep Felipe Anderson.
And Burnley and Huddersfield. Well, anything can happen there.
That's it. Finish.
Wolves and Palace. Wolves. There you are.
There you go. Done. Game week 21 done. Listen, because we're doing it, we'll do it live on Wednesday, right? So we just discuss the games as they go. I think I don't even know how that's going to go yet. It could be
carnage, but probably
let's try and do some new things with FPL Family, and we'll see how they go. We, as usual, guys, we're trying them on the fly.
Give me some stats. Okay,
we always want to give you. We always want to hear from your feedback as well. If stuff is good and you like it, great. Tell us. If it's guff and you don't want us to do it anymore, tell us, and we'll stop doing that. I've got a Sam stat for you just before we go.
Oh, is this the one that you came out with earlier?
I can't take any credit because I saw it on Twitter. It's very, very good. Etheridge, who is the Cardiff keeper, has saved 3 penalties so far.
Right.
In this Premier League season. They've all been from players that share names with former US presidents. Can you name them? One was this weekend, so Maddison. Wilson. Newcastle's the other one. Brazilian.
Kennedy.
Kennedy, very good. There you go. There's a nice bit of completely pointless trivia. Guys, we will see you on the other side. It's going to be Tuesday, the 1st of January, by the time we will see you... Wednesday, the 2nd of January. So we should say, have a very happy New Year for those of you that are going out on New Year's Eve. Don't drink an FPL. We always say it, don't drink an FPL. Bad idea, isn't it? Bad idea. Unless you're bringing Pogba in, and then you can have as much to drink as you want.
Remember, FPL's for life, not just for Christmas.
Not just for Christmas. Apples and Pears already saying how to be a Patreon. Apples and Pears, thank you for your interest. I'm going to be launching it on Twitter, so go check us out at FPL Family on Twitter. Keep an eye on my posts over the next few days, and we will be launching the Patreon page for all of you guys that want to be Patreons and support us, as well as get involved with the Manager of the Month thing that we're doing. Have a look at that over the next few days and week or so, and we'll be launching that. Until then, guys, keep an eye on at FPL Family on Twitter, at FPL Family on Instagram. We're going to go and check out the Who Got the Assist boys. And now you're going to see what sorts of videos I watch. There's Pokemon Go for our little lad. There's Andy. Match of the day. All the sorts of things I watch. Here we go. Who got the assist?
I was just wondering when you were getting that up whether one of the kids had been on there today.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
It's just going to be all
This is a very dangerous thing to do, isn't it?
Random things that the children watch on YouTube.
Who got the assist? Here you go. Check these boys out. Here they are. Right. Live now. Just started. There he is. Bless his heart. There he is. There's Tom. So, guys, go check out Who Got the Assist. And as you saw with me there, don't type WGTA into the YouTube bar. Go type Who Got the Assist and go and check out Nick and Tom. Only 51 people watching that. Guys, how many have we got watching?
Go on, off you go.
How many have we got watching? 247 of you. Leave us a like. Hit subscribe before you go if you're new around here. Go check out who got the assist. I'm going to go in there right now. I want to see that number 51 go above 100. Until Wednesday, when we will be live reacting to FPL. I've got no idea how that's going to go.
FPL Soccer Wednesday.
FPL
Family Soccer
Family
Wednesday.
live reaction, nonsense, carnage. Wednesday night, just for you guys. Have a great new year, and we will see you then. Cheers, guys.
Take care. Green arrows.